Good afternoon, I'm Isaiah Jacob. Tonight, the Cleveland Cavaliers are on the NBA slate taking on the Philadelphia 76ers at 7 p.m. Darius Garland and Sam Merrill will be out tonight for the Cavs. Tomorrow, OSU Hoops are back in action. They will look to rebound against the UCLA Bruins at 1 p.m. Coverage begins right here on The Fan at noon. Later on tomorrow, the Blue Jackets will be chasing 4 wins in a row when they play the Penguins tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And then for the NFL this weekend, Texans Pro Bowl wideout Nico Collins has been ruled out for Sunday's game against the New England Patriots due to a concussion, but help is on the way for the Buffalo Bills as defensive tackle Ed Oliver and former Buckeye wide receiver Curtis Samuel will both be active this weekend for their game against Denver. This update was sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. Together to serve you better, scheduled today at thewaterworks.com.
Bring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh! Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Friday. I'm Brandon Beam hanging out with our guy Patrick Murphy of Bucknuts. Isaiah behind the glass tonight. Pat, happy Friday to you. And also a terrible Friday to you wearing that Rams jersey. What's going on, buddy? Good to talk to you.
It is Friday, isn't it?
It is.
I just feel like, for me, this is the last day of the transfer portal. That's all I know. So I forgot what day of the week it was. So that's good to know.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most excited you've ever been in your entire life for something, how excited are you that the transfer portal only has 6 more hours remaining and that you're not going to have to keep track tonight after midnight, Patrick?
9.5.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
second most after you got engaged, like second most excited moment in your life.
It's a big day.
I mean, that was up there. Crew championships have been up there.
Yeah.
Things like that. Super Bowls. I won't bring that up though.
You can bring it up. I don't care about that. That's in the past, buddy. We're living in the present.
I know,
now.
that's unfortunate. The problem is guys will still be committing. Like Ohio State could still add people after midnight tonight. So I
think they will.
It's less that I have to worry about, but we still have to sort of be on call to do things. But it is what it is. You know, there are pros and cons to every job, and this time of year happens to be just pretty busy.
Why don't we just make it a rule going forward? Next year in the transfer portal, if I could, NCAA or whoever's in charge of the transfer portal, between the hours of noon and 6 p.m., yeah. That's when you can officially enter the transfer portal. Not a 24-hour-a-day clock, but even if you want to make it 7 p.m., all right? Between the hours of noon and 7 p.m. Eastern time. You got 7 hours. It's a little bit less than a standard American workday. Just make that a thing. When the transfer portal's open, noon to 7. That's when you can announce or get into the transfer portal. And that way, our poor friends like Pat, Austin, everyone that we talk to on the Ohio State beat, you guys aren't working your fingers off, typing away at all hours of the day.
The thing for me is the mornings. Because remember when Kyle McCord entered the transfer portal at like 5 a.m.?
I do remember that. I was up, and that was like the only time during the morning show that we had breaking news. Like usually the news cycle, you're not really getting that much breaking news before 9 a.m. So like Bo and Anthony and Matt and all the, Bishop and friends like Rothman and Ice, even Common Man and Timmy at the time, Common Man and T-Bone, those guys are used to breaking news on the show. It's rare that you get any sort of breaking news between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. The Kyle McCord news was at like 6:10 a.m. And feverishly during that first break, I'm like double and triple checking that it was a real like Pete Nakos tweet and like trying to go to the sources. I'm texting people like, hey, is this real? Because
no one's answering because it's 5 in the morning.
No one is answering because everybody is asleep on the Ohio State beat, which is fine. It's 6 a.m. Like you probably shouldn't be awake unless you were coming on the show anyways. And it was one of the crazier days because Ohio State had just lost to Michigan, right? Like I think it was the week after that happened, that Kyle McCord entered the transfer portal. But yeah, that was a weird time of the day for that to happen. Yeah, let's make some parameters in the middle of the day.
And the problem would still be because even before the transfer portal opens, we had people you mentioned like Pete and others. We've got guys that, so-and-so intends to enter the transfer portal, right? Yeah. And we'd still have that at whatever hours. So yeah, like last night, I told you before I left, I was going to meet some buddies out. Mm-hmm. Had my laptop with me.
Divorced Dads Club, right?
We went to Divorced Dads bars. Yes.
Where did you go? Now that we're not going to dox you, and you guys aren't going to do this in live time, where was our bar that we went to last night?
We went to a few. Do you know the Bethel Road where there used to be the Texas Roadhouse?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
great
parking.
Great ramen place. It's called Mashiku. They pay me nothing to tell you, but if you're looking for a good ramen, right behind that old Texas Roadhouse is a place called Mashiku. Best ramen in Columbus. Go there at some point, and then I believe in that Texas Roadhouse they put a Mexican restaurant.
They did.
Yeah, there's no Texas Roadhouse anymore.
Yeah.
But yes, that little, that stretch of that like strip mall there. Started Coaches and worked our way.
Coaches, good bar.
Coaches is a good bar.
There's a couple, there's a surprising amount of bars in that little strip there.
Yeah, you can spend a whole weekend there, I feel like.
There's a Donato's there now. We stopped in there for a beer.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, the point of the story was that, the Ohio State has a cornerback commit out of the transfer portal in the middle of that, so... Fortunately,
Dominic Kelly is his name. Yes. He came over from the University of Georgia. That was last night's news, which was big news. Ohio State fans were pumped about that.
Yeah. Look, and he's the guy who's got 3 years of eligibility left and whatnot, but that was quickly like, what am I going to do here? I'm sitting at the Donato's in Bethel Road.
Having a beer.
Yeah. Fortunately, one of our other guys was able to handle it, but I literally brought my backpack and laptop, which I know.
Always bring your backpack.
I know you
and
know
laptop.
that. But not everybody does. And for things like this, like if this is a month from now, I'm probably not bringing it because I don't expect anything to happen. I mean, something could happen at any point in time. Like news happens. A guy get arrested or coach get fired.
Whoa.
Yeah, things just happen. Like when JT Barrett got his that was another middle of the night one. JT
Halloween
Barrett
weekend.
got in some trouble there. Things like that. So, but typically for a Thursday night when we're not in transfer portal or football season, I will not bring my laptop to that type of event, especially if we're moving around. Like, it just becomes a hassle.
It does. We got a great show lined up for you here tonight. Newly minted Hall of Famer James Laurinaitis. We heard from him yesterday on Bishop and Friends. You're going to hear from him coming up in our next segment around 6:17. Spencer Holbrook of Letterman Row. He's going to join us. We'll break down the latest of what's going on with the Buckeyes with him at 6:30. Buckeyes with a massive game tomorrow against UCLA. We'll preview that game. They did get some news today on a player that either you've heard of or you haven't heard of. Puff Johnson got a temporary restraining order lifted via the NCAA.
So such a weird way to put it.
It is. We'll get into that a little bit later around the bottom, or I guess close to the top of the hour, 6:46. We'll talk some Buckeye hoops. And Skip Mossick, he sent me his personal pair of tickets for tomorrow's game against UCLA. 100 level. Tomorrow over at the shop. We'll do that a little bit later on in the hour. 7 o'clock, we'll get into the college football pulse. I talked to Carp a little bit earlier. We'll do that at 7:17. And then Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle, he's going to join the program at 7:30. So a power pack 2 hours for you. Dominic Kelly, since we didn't have the chance last night to do this, Pat, because he announced his commitment to Ohio State after our show was over. Just your thoughts on the Dominic Kelly signing. And then we also have another one today, Kyle Parker, out of LSU, a wide receiver who I know had been kind of tied in with the Buckeyes a little bit. Cortez Hankton coming over, the wide receivers coach there, joins Ohio State as the full-time receivers coach. He joined as well. But we'll start with Dominic Kelly. Just your thoughts on that happening last evening.
Yeah, this is one that I was not, I had not done my research on, so to speak, just because it kind of came out of nowhere. I think it was Mick Walker, our friend, who broke that news. Mm-hmm. That he was coming. But, a four-star kid coming out of high school just a year ago, played at IMG, that's usually a good sign of production. I think the biggest thing, though, is this is a guy who will be here. He's not just going to be here for a year and then gone. Well, you hope. He has 3 years of...
He could.
Yes, he has 3 years of eligibility, so he's not
a true sophomore.
Correct. And, played a little bit as a freshman. Nothing crazy, 10 games, but only had 3 tackles. So I think this is a guy that they recognize some ability in. They know they need some depth in that position group. And, you can bring him in and have him work with the coaches over there, Tim Walton and Matt Guerreri, and, kind of coach him up to to be hopefully what you need in a year or so.
Yeah, absolutely, right? So Dominic Kelly comes in, 4-star rating out of the transfer portal out of Georgia. And then earlier today, former LSU wide receiver Kyle Parker, he announced his commitment to Ohio State. He's 5'11", 195 pounds. Last year for the Tigers, 31 catches, 330 yards, and 4 touchdowns. This seems to me a bigger deal than what the Dominic Kelly addition is. Like Dominic Kelly, we're hoping that he can get some play time, some spot time, right? Like Tim Walton, McArary, those guys can coach him up. I would assume that you're looking at Kyle Parker this year, and I know that you're going to bring in Chris Henry Jr., you're bringing back Brandon Inniss, obviously you're bringing back Jeremiah Smith. If you're looking for someone to like immediately work into this Ohio State wide receiver rotation, that's the guy that you're looking at for the Buckeyes to come in. And if anything, in the transfer portal, make an immediate impact upon arrival.
I agree. I think this looks to me like a guy who can play out of the slot, who probably can play anywhere, but I would imagine is a bit of a slot receiver. Different than Brandon Inniss, though, in terms of like explosive, the big plays that I think they lacked this year that we've talked about. So I think that's something. And I think you can kind of read into it with the additions they've made in the transfer portal at receiver. Maybe there's a plan to rotate a little bit more than they have the last few years under Brian Hartline, where, now you have a few guys that you hope you can trust as opposed to just the 3 starters. And you look at the tight ends they brought in after losing Max Clare and Will Kazmarek, more so as we talked about the other day, like blocking tight ends. Not to say that they won't catch some passes, they will. But I do think you're seeing, okay, this could be, not that they'll go away from heavier sets with more tight ends, but I do think they'll be able to rotate in more receivers.
Yeah, at least when you're talking about this from 30,000 feet. Again, we're in January.
Yeah,
we haven't made it to spring ball. Who knows?
No one's practiced yet.
Who knows what this offense is going to look like? But you're thinking now, Pat, more traditional Ohio State offense when you think about it, not going 13, 14 personnel, at least with the lack of quote unquote pass catchers coming into the tight end room. Also, fun fact about Kyle Parker, teammate in high school of who? Do you know?
I don't know.
Peyton Pierce went to the same high school.
Okay.
He's 1 year older than Peyton Pierce is. Or maybe Peyton Pierce, I think, is 1 year older than Kyle Parker because he was, a redshirt freshman this year? Redshirt junior? Nope. That is correct.
Had it right the first time.
I had it right. I mixed that up. But yeah, high school teammate of Peyton Pierce. And Peyton Pierce on social media was very excited about the addition of his former high school teammate.
Well, that's always good. You like that. And I do think, having worked with Cortez Hankton before, like this is obviously a guy your new wide receivers coach has not only familiarity with, but clearly believes in if he's going to bring him with him to the next stop. And actually, if you look at, I did some deep diving on Cortez Hankton over the last week. Like his transfer portal movement has been pretty successful. Ohio State hasn't really done that for wide receivers before, but they've obviously started to this time, and you hope you can hit on some of that as well.
How did newly minted Hall of Famer James Laurinaitis feel when he found out that he was heading into the College Football Hall of Fame? You're going to hear from the Ohio State linebackers coach and new Hall of Famer coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always Buckeyes, managing great places to live.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone. Now through February 2nd, get 2.99 APR financing on remaining new 25 Tacomas. Excludes TRD Pro and Trailhunter. Or lease a well-equipped 25 Tacoma SR5 for $279 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Rothman and Ice.
Ohio State
two
football.
are the best in the business.
Cut that.
Let's make sure no one's interrupting me. I'm recording the
I think
audio.
it has to be natural.
You two are the best in the business.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State National Championship quarterback and former CareSource kid, Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. Seeing that CareSource heart around town, I just knew they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. This is so much more than health insurance. CareSource, today and always. Trusted. Visit caresource.com.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add on your choice of a sub, salad, wings, a 10-inch pizza, and more for just $5 each. Order your favorite $5 Pizza Pals from Donatos.com today. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donatos. Gotta love more.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey, there's Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. We're looking at scattered light snow showers across the region this evening and into tonight. Heaviest snow will be south and east of Columbus, where we could pick up several inches of new snowfall, so watch for slick spots on the roads. Temperatures out there will be in the 30s as we head through tonight, staying in the 30s for your Saturday. Scattered light snow continues. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
All Buckeyes, all the time. You are listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hey, now my guy Patrick Murphy here with you for a full 2 hours. Spencer Holbrook of Letterman Row is going to join us coming up here at 6:30. Did my guy Mike Behrens just say we're getting a couple of inches of snow tonight? Did I hear that wrong? Or was that right?
That's what it sounded like.
That's no fun. Nobody wants that.
I hope that just gets super warm in Chicago this week.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't know.
I think that's going to be I think it's going to be a bad situation for you.
I literally woke up.
It doesn't matter to you. You're going to be inside watching the game. Who cares if it's cold out?
Yeah, I'll be at a bar.
I know you will. And I know exactly which bar you're going to be at.
I got up, I don't know, whatever day it was that we had this, it wasn't heavy snow, but there was snow in the morning. I got up to let the dog out and feed
yesterday
her.
morning. Right?
Was it yesterday? I don't know. Again, they all blend together because it's just staring at my computer waiting for transfer portal news. But I opened the door and see the snow, and the first thing I thought about was like, oh, this is probably what it's going to be like in Chicago on Sunday.
Except worse.
Well, yeah, I mean.
I think it's going to be like -5 degree with wind chill.
Yeah.
No snow, though. It's going to be
they're
dry.
in a big stadium that blocks the wind.
Matt Stafford has a lively arm. He's going to be just fine. I don't know why you're so worried about the weather. It's not like he didn't play in Green Bay and Chicago for most of his career when he was in Detroit.
But he also played in a dome in every other division game.
That is true.
Except I guess he had the few years where Minnesota played at the Gopher Stadium.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
No. But he's also from Texas and played at Georgia. So now he's in Los Angeles for the last
You're
going to
be fine. Stop stressing out about it, will you?
It's literally all I've been thinking about other than transfer portal stuff.
I know it is. You're going to be fine. You guys are going to win.
Oh, look,
Don't
it's
worry
on the
about
TV.
It is on the TV. James Laurinaitis went into the Hall of Fame this weekend. It was awesome. Go listen to the
Props
Bishop
to
and
James.
Friends interview. Again, Justin and I were doing the show. Justin Zwick and I were doing the show on Wednesday when this was announced. And really cool for James. Obviously very deserving. Number 33 in our hearts. Number 1 in the program, though. The little animal stepping in, obviously, in a situation that nobody wanted to when Bobby broke his leg in the Michigan game, and then James had to come in that game and really never looked back. 3-time All-American. He's a 3-star from Wayzata. Go listen to the interview that Bo did with him. Those two were coworkers. I had the pleasure of producing for those fine gentlemen for, I don't know, probably 16 months. So he holds a special place in my heart. It was awesome to hear them talk again. But here was James a little bit earlier on yesterday around 9 a.m. talking to Bo about his initial thoughts on being elected into the College Football Hall of Fame.
It's humbling, man. It really is humbling to think that, you're just a 3-star kid from up north and you got here and you just wanted to play ball and keep playing until you couldn't anymore. And you look up and you receive that football yesterday and, it brings tears to your eyes because you're like, that's a lot of work. And it's something that honestly, it wasn't even a goal, it wasn't even something that you had in your mind. And for it to come, to fruition is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever had the pleasure of meeting James, who is doing a terrific job as linebackers coach at Ohio State, and Pat, I know that you have, but I'm directly talking to Buckeye fans right now. He is the most humble, most nice human being maybe in the world. We'll always deflect if you talk about his playing career, and I know that you doubled up and you watched him at Ohio State and you were a Rams fan too. So this has got to be a really...
Still am, actually.
I know that you are. But, I mean, James played for the St. Louis Rams.
Correct.
I don't believe he ever played for the Los Angeles Rams. No. Leading tackler in franchise history for the Rams. And for a guy like that to be going into the Hall of Fame, there's no one more deserving. So big congratulations to James. And, again, he will not ever talk about himself or gloat about himself. But it's a huge honor, and I'm pumped. I believe it's the 29th Buckeyes to go into the College Football Hall of Fame, joining 3 other linebackers for Ohio State. Randy Gradishar, Tom Cousineau, Chris Spielman, the other 3 linebackers.
He just pulled that off the top of his head for those that aren't watching. Beam's not even looking at a screen.
I'm looking at the YouTube chat.
He just knows these linebackers. I want to echo everything you said about James on and off the field. I remember, I think it was when I was in college, I went to the grocery store. James was at the Rams at that point, but must have been back for some reason.
Huge neck back then.
Yeah.
Giant neck.
I parked in the parking lot, and I'm like, I don't know, doing something on my phone before I go in, and I look to my left, and there's a big pickup truck, and it's just James Laurinaitis. This before I did, obviously any of this stuff, just James Laurinaitis getting out. And like you mentioned, watching him at Ohio State, watching him for the Rams. And then I just kept walking past him in the grocery store, and it was one of those
you're just kind of hovering around him.
It wasn't intentional. It was just we happened to be.
We needed mac and cheese. He was getting mac and cheese.
Exactly.
I was getting turkey. He was getting ham.
Yeah. And like I said hello, but I didn't annoy him about that.
I love you.
But I have brought that story up to him before. Not that he remembers going to Kroger or whatever. But he's always been great. He was great when he was here at the station. When he was doing Big Ten Network. Running into him at games. I remember halftime of a Rutgers game one time, standing there. We were watching whatever other game was on, and he was talking. He just starts breaking it down. Just stand there in the press box as we're eating whatever the halftime
all-time
food was.
guest too on the postgame show. Great guest. Great guest.
Oh, yeah.
As an analyst and as a coach, and he's the only person we've had on that has spanned both careers as an analyst when we had him on the postgame show for Buckeye football, and now currently as a coach. He's the only one that's done.
Wonder if he ever did it as a player.
Yeah, we did. I don't think we didn't have it.
Different setup. I think you said great analyst. I think just great, and then fill in the blank there.
Yeah, whatever.
And that describes James.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going in with some pretty other awesome dudes. I will read you the College Football Hall of Fame list, but here he was with Bo. This is about 2 minutes long. The first people he got in contact with when he found out that he was going into the College Football Hall of Fame.
First person I called was Shelley, and then after Shelley, I called Coach Tress. And I just felt like I had to say thank you for believing in me, and taking me. And obviously developing all of us into the people that we try to become, and so I called Tress, and he answered right away. Like, of course he did. And to happen to say, I'm blocking out that date right now, and I'm, you got the lieutenant governor here talking about, I'm with my scheduler right now, and we're blocking off the 7th through 9th. We're going to be in Vegas. I'm like, awesome. And then I had to call Luke, so I called Coach Fickle, and obviously said, man, thank you for making me tougher and better, and sometimes scaring the crap out of me, and had to thank Luke. And because you're right, it's about relationships. Then I called Coach Haycock, and called Coach Haycock and thanked him, and to be a teammate with Aaron Donald and then celebrate with him. And then every time I see Mark Ingram on Big Noon Kickoff, he comes on the field, as they do from outside the stadium in. He gives me a big hug. We were only teammates for a year in New Orleans, and then what's also awesome, like the young James here, like I grew up loving Peter Warwick. Like Peter Warwick, man. Dude, I know you know a lot about Peter Warwick. And I like this guy, but man, when you want to imagine like the spin move of Braxton versus Vatek, like that was Peter play by play. Like that dude was electric, and so he may have been one of my first like all-time favorite college football players. And I didn't even really mess with the Knowles like that, but he was incredible. So like that's like a holy smokes moment. Like, that's the guy I'll walk up to and be like, hey, let me introduce myself, man. I was a huge fan of yours growing. You know what I mean? So
the guys that he named right there, obviously Mark Ingram, Peter Warwick, Aaron Donald. Those aren't the only guys going to the Hall of Fame, because he also joins Marvin Harrison Sr. Hey, we're aware of what his son did here at Ohio State. He's also an NFL Hall of Famer, which is pretty interesting that he went into the College Football Hall of Fame after he went into the NFL Hall of Fame. You also get Olin Kreutz, who did a terrific job at Washington, played for the Bears for a long time. And then, among others, Eric Weddle going in as well, Kijana Carter. So, I mean, this is a loaded College Football Hall of Fame class, and it's got to be awesome, the fact that James is going in with one of his former teammates, Aaron Donald, who he got to play with as well. Like, that's got to be a pretty cool experience for him.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the humble thing. I'm sure some people saw this year. He was talking about when he was coaching the linebackers and taking them through all the All-Americans. Like, they were doing one a
History
week or
lesson.
whatever. Yeah. And somebody asked, like, have you gotten to you yet? And he's like, oh, I'll probably just skip me. And it's like, come on, man. Like, I know. Now he's a Hall of Famer. Like, I don't know how you could skip that.
That's classic James. Like, that is vintage James, that he would skip over himself in the lore of Ohio State football to get to someone else.
Yeah. And it's, if you've heard him tell the story, like, he was committed to Minnesota.
Yeah.
He was a 3-star recruit, and Fickle I believe was the guy.
High school teammates with Marion Barber. Like, that was his best friend growing up. They were going to go to Minnesota together.
One of my best friends from Ohio State is from the town, like, right over. So I've actually we went and I visited him once. We went and, like, walked around their high school stadium. But yeah, it is a pretty remarkable story. I mean, I'm sure there's other examples of 3-star recruits that have made it into the College Football Hall of Fame, but to have the career he did, testament to his work ethic, and kind of everything we're saying positively about him.
Big congratulations to our guy, James Laurinaitis, linebackers coach at The Ohio State University, going to be going in to the College Football Hall of Fame alongside some other really, really good players. Big congrats to him. Spencer Holbrook of Letterman Row, he's going to join the program. We'll break down the latest of what's going on in the transfer portal for Ohio State coming up with him here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
Getting the cold shoulder? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Day one, the hardest day. The day you hear,
this is a type of blood cancer.
At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one. To learn more and get help on any day, visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Hey, Ohio State fans! Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry-O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule! Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Are we drinking the scarlet and gray Kool-Aid? You bet we are. You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Coming up 1 hour from now at 7:30, Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join the program. As for now, though, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our guy of Letterman Row. He is Spencer Holbrook. Spence, thanks for the time. Always appreciated. Compared to last week when it was a mass exodus for the Buckeyes out of the portal, we get to the end of this week, Spence, and it is finally closing this evening, I believe at 11:59, the transfer portal, where no more players can get into it. How would you juxtapose and compare from a week ago today where Ohio State currently sits at to where they were last week, Spence? Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's pretty crazy what's gone on the last 2 weeks, but I'm not going to say that nothing else is going to happen because we obviously just saw what happened at Duke down there today. It's just pretty crazy the way that the sport has changed. You know, the transfer portal used to be, a few guys here and there go in. Now Ohio State's got, I think, 31 guys who went to the portal and left. So it's been a whirlwind 2 weeks. Obviously, a lot of good additions. I think the fan base feels a lot better right now than it did last week, when it seemed like everybody was criticizing the Buckeyes for their approach to the portal. I think their plan and their approach worked out. So yeah, I think it's a lot better this week than it was last week for sure.
Spence, first of all, props to you for how you've covered this. I've seen you breaking news and whatnot, so good job over there at Letterman Row. Who is your favorite addition that the Buckeyes have made thus far from the portal?
Oh man. I think, can I go short term and long term? Is that okay with that?
Yeah. No.
Okay, short term.
What if we say no? You can only name one guy.
Short term, I think it's Christian Allegro. I think he adds a little bit to that linebacker room. I think he needed some experience there, and I think he can do some things off the edge that we've seen traditional, bigger Wisconsin linebackers do. That I think Matt Patricia can get his hands on and mold that clay to be able to make sure that he doesn't lose any of the pass rushing juice from the linebacker spot. So I really liked that pickup. I think that it's a really underrated thing that you'll see the Buckeyes use pretty wisely next year. Long term, it's really hard to look away from what Dominic Kelly could be. I think he reclassed, which means that he really is just a true freshman this year, except he'll only have 3 years. I don't think he'll need all three. I think he's a really, really good player. And I think it gives the Buckeyes an ability to rotate starting corners, keep those guys fresh, keep them active, and make sure that they're all, playing at 100% at all times. And so if you have a cornerback rotation of next year, Devin Sanchez, Dominic Kelly, Jermaine Matthews, and then you can go the year after with Devin Sanchez, Dominic Kelly, Jay Timmons, Jordan Thomas, like you're looking at a cornerback room that last week at this time, quite honestly, we thought looked really thin. And that addition with the years that he has left, but also the experience that he got playing under Kirby Smart this year and now can learn from Matt Patricia, I think the sky's the limit for that guy. And so I thought that was a really good addition.
Spence, can you let's go to the offensive side real quick. And I feel like maybe we brush this over too much, but Justin Martin transferring to Ohio State, I think is kind of a fascinating case study on what Ohio State has developmentally done at the quarterback position. Was that UCLA? Was that Maryland? Didn't really play a whole lot. Comes here and openly says, I want to go to the NFL. Ohio State is the best place for me to develop. Are we under the assumption that he's not going to give Julian Sayin a run for his money, but we're going to have a battle at backup quarterback between him and Tavian St. Clair because, again, like I feel like we got that addition. Everyone kind of blew past it. But, I mean, that's a huge addition when you're losing a veteran like Lincoln Kienholz, that you're bringing in someone with veteran leadership kind of in that quarterback class.
No, I agree with you. And I wonder if it'll be a backup quarterback competition or if he's there just strictly for depth to develop for a year and then potentially go to his next stop. That really wouldn't surprise me either. You know, if he maybe develops for a year and then moves on to other things, or develops for a year and then tries to win the quarterback job. You know, who knows? We just don't really know. Obviously, like you said, he's not going to push Julian Sayin for the starting job. Julian is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. But I thought it was an important get for Ryan Day. Like you said, though, again, to establish some leadership, some veteran presence in there, a guy who's been through it, who's learned 2 playbooks, now will be learning his 3rd playbook, but also understands that, you know, being a college quarterback and be able to show that, just another guy to show that to Tavian St. Clair, the first guy that's going to show it to Luke Fahey when he gets on campus. So, yeah, you know, nobody really talked about it because you're not getting a starting quarterback out of the transfer portal.
Right.
But I think it's good for depth. It's good for Ryan Day, who always likes to have 4 quarterbacks, and we'll see what happens.
Just a follow-up on that, Spence, and I don't want to, like, fast-forward to next offseason. You know, I know that you guys have been going through it as beat writers and kind of being on alert 24/7 during this portal period. Can you see a situation in which you're going to really have a quarterback race, a quarterback competition? Because now with the one portal, like, you don't have the parachute to be able to get out after spring ball. Like, it's the one in January, and maybe that'll change next year. I don't know what the rules are going to be in college football really in the summer or come next wintertime. But it does seem like if there's going to be a quarterback competition, that one of the parties, if they may be behind in that competition after the end of the season, will kind of pull ripcord during this period instead of them that not being a period at all in the spring or summer for them to get out of Dodge.
No, yeah, I completely understand. And look, we don't even know the rules for what college football is going to be next week.
No.
So, you know,
Yeah,
there's no way of telling what this thing is going to look like in a year. But I do, you know, I understand your point of, like, this year, all of a sudden, August camp becomes pivotal for Tavian St. Clair. Hey, you're not just the heir apparent here. You know, not only can we go to the transfer portal, but there's a guy who wants to develop and wants to get to the NFL, and he has some experience in the college game. Is he the highest, you know, most decorated guy that's ever come through the building? No, not even close. But he's a guy who wants to develop and learn under Ryan Day and push some people. So I think it just makes August all the more important because, like you said, like, game reps are hard to come by during the season. And then all of a sudden in January, you're either going to be the starting quarterback a year from now or you're going to be in the transfer portal. So, yeah, I mean, it just makes every little thing, spring ball into August, even more important with this one-time transfer window.
Spencer, when you were talking about Dominic Kelly, you mentioned he can learn from Matt Patricia. Does that mean you have a high level of confidence that he will be the defensive coordinator for Ohio State next fall?
I just have to operate under what we know right now. And would I love to say yes, absolutely 100%? I would, but I don't. You know how these NFL people work, and we saw the NFL give to be honest, an unreasonable contract to Chip Kelly last offseason.
That worked out well
to come be an offense coordinator. And hey, Chip, buy another beach house, my man. You earned it with the national championship, but you know it was a pretty short-lived stay there. So I would love to tell you guys that he's going to be the new a second-year DC, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the NFL.
He is Spencer Holbrook of Letterman Row with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Let me throw this hypothetical at you. Spencer, your favorite NFL team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin intends on sitting out this year. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and it gets rumored that Matt Patricia may be willing to join the organization as a defensive coordinator, what would Spencer Holbrook, the Steelers fan, say about that compared to Spencer Holbrook, the Ohio State beat reporter, wanting to keep Matt Patricia around for a second year with the Buckeyes?
And not wanting to have to cover another defensive coordinator search. I would probably say there are plenty of fish in the sea, Steelers. Let's go find somebody a little different. Yeah, it's now that it's actually a possibility just because they have an opening. Right. I haven't really considered that, but yeah, I think I would tell the Steelers to go 5 million different directions elsewhere, so we don't have to do this whole DC search again, because that was a long process last year.
It was. What's the updated status on the offensive coordinator search? Have they started? Is there anybody that Ryan Day is looking at? Is it an elevation from inside of the building? I feel like everything has been very, very quiet kind of on that front since the Buckeyes came to the end of their season a couple of weeks ago against Miami.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan Day's in a hurry. Could I see a decision here in the next couple of weeks? Maybe. Could I see a decision around the Super Bowl when the NFL coaching carousel begins to wind down a little bit? Probably more likely. It just depends on what Ryan Day wants. They were really, really locked in on the roster retention phase, then the add in the transfer portal phase. I don't even think they've begun truly digging into like the meat and potatoes of an OC search. Obviously, they've done some of the things that you need to do, but I still think that we're going to be waiting a little bit. I don't think that's a bad thing. Ryan Day took his time to find Matt Patricia last year. Everybody chatted him for it, but he got it right. And so I think the most important thing for Ryan is not to rush through it and to get it right. And I think he's going to be able to do that here, on his timeline and whatever the NFL, coordinator carousel, I guess doesn't take, or if Ohio State can lure somebody back in the college game, I think that's probably the route that it would be. But we'll see if that doesn't come to fruition. We'll just see where he goes because, like I said, I don't think it's going to be a quick process. I think it's going to be pretty methodical from day.
As our resident Bobcat, what can you tell me about tight end Mason Williams?
Oh, yeah, big body, really good on NCAA 2026. Won a couple national titles with him.
Terrific.
Pedigree. I think the Mackey Award, the Blitnikoff. No, he's a really capable blocker. I think you're going to get kind of like what you got with Will Kazmarek, who I still say was a really underrated receiving threat on that Ohio State offense the last 2 years. I think back to the seam route that he ran against Oregon on the road last year and broke his collarbone. Like, that kind of stuff he could do. He caught a really nice ball in the middle of the field, getting hit while he was catching it against Michigan this year. Mason Williams kind of does similar things. And, yeah, it sounds a little lazy to compare the two just because it's an Ohio tight end who's coming to Ohio State, but they really do play really similarly. And I think Ohio State's pretty excited about him.
You are the noted nephew of Aunt Karen Holbrook.
Absolute drunken orgies.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, football going on, Spence. What game are you most looking forward to, either in the NFL or the College Football National Championship on Monday?
That's a great question.
I guess let me rephrase that. Which one is Aunt Karen most looking forward to watching?
It's probably the Texans Patriots. I think that game is going to be really fun, really low scoring. See if CJ can kind of stay out of his way the way that he did, and the way that he couldn't against the Steelers, and then the Steelers couldn't get out of their own way even more. And then obviously with the Braves ties and Travion in the playoffs, like that's just something that, Pat can attest to this. Like, you're around those guys so much, and then all of a sudden you see them in the NFL playoffs. It's like, this is pretty cool to watch. So, and those are two guys who were super easy to root for. So, yeah, I think it's that one. For sure.
Spence, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on tonight. Give Aunt Karen our best, and we will check in again soon, all right?
Thanks, guys. Always appreciate it.
There he goes. Spencer Holbrook of Letterman Row with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Buckeye Hoops, a massive game tomorrow at home against UCLA. We're going to get into that coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Looking for a stable career you can count on in 2026? Don't miss Uline's warehouse hiring event this January in Etna. Backed by over 45 years of success, Uline offers job stability, training, and the chance to build a rewarding career. New warehouse team members earn $26 an hour or more, plus full health coverage and a 401k with 6% match starting day one. Sign up for your warehouse interview on Thursday, January 22nd in Etna at uline.jobs. That's uline.jobs.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-718-4040. That's 800-718-4040. 800-718-4040.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
Join our resident gambling degenerates Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money, Sunday mornings at 9.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility.
The Fan. The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The best damn radio show in the land. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hey, now I'm Pat Murphy. I'll let you know that we're here on The Buckeye Show, brought to you by our good friends over at CareSource and United Healthcare. Pat, why don't you fire a number at us?
10.
Caller number 10 right now. It's the last one that we can go up to. 614-821-9710. That's the phone number. You call in, you talk to Isaiah, and if you're caller number 10, you're going to be receiving a pair of tickets, personal tickets. Skip Mossick's personal tickets, 100 level seats tomorrow to go watch the Ohio State men's basketball program take on Crazy Mick Cronin and the UCLA Bruins over at the Shot at 1 o'clock tomorrow. 614-821-9710. Caller number 10, you get in, you talk to Isaiah, you're walking away with a pair of tickets to that. How excited are you to watch and be in the building tomorrow for Ohio State versus UCLA? 1-1 on the big West Coast road trip, win against Oregon, tough one against Washington last weekend, last Sunday. Really good in the first half, kind of collapsed a little bit in the second half. But this is a big one, Pat. I mean, when you're starting to talk about numbers and wins and losses, and you're starting to do the math a little bit on bracketology and March Madness and what it's going to take. And I know that you probably lost out by, one game last year to the NCAA tournament, one of these situations and games maybe goes a different way and you're in the field compared to out of the field, it would be a good win tomorrow against UCLA. Kind of get back into stable footing before you take on Minnesota at home on Tuesday as well.
It's a gotta-have-it win because not to take anything away from UCLA, I just pulled up Ken Palm's rankings. He's got Ohio State at 37 and UCLA at 41, so fairly evenly matched teams there. But in the Big Ten, you've got to win your home games, and Ohio State hasn't done that enough yet.
They've won road games.
They have won some road games.
What are they, 3-1 on the road in the Big Ten?
Something like that. But you've got to start taking care of business at the shot. Jake Diebler has asked on more than one occasion publicly to the Big Ten for more Saturday, Sunday, weekend day games.
Like tomorrow is.
Like tomorrow. And so you have that opportunity now. He talked about it in the press conference with us earlier this week.
How was he doing? How was his tone? How was his vibe?
Good. I think he would have liked to have that Washington win, but also recognizing you lost Christoph Tilley in the second half. You're already down Brandon Noel. Devin Royal was going through some stuff in that game. So you're asking a lot of Amari Bynum to be your post guy, and that's a true freshman who you originally planned to have coming off the bench, right?
I mean, you just elevated him to starter a month ago?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. So tough one, especially because you were winning there. You had a chance to make it 2-0 on that road trip. But I think he understands, kind of how that played out. But he said, we have to give people a reason to get excited about this team at home. Like, yes, call on Buckeye Nation to make it an atmosphere and, hostile for opposing teams, but the team has to do its part as well to give the fans a reason to show up, a reason to cheer, things like that. So I thought that was good perspective from Jake Diebler, and hopefully it's a good crowd out there tomorrow afternoon. I think you asked how excited I am. I would be more excited if I were winning those tickets as opposed to sitting where we sit, which is not a bad seat.
What are you talking about? Don't go full Austin Ward press box snob. You guys have awesome seats.
No, we're stuck in the corner.
Still lower level, though.
Well, yeah, it is lower level. We're not up in the hockey press box, but it's not. It's just like I can't see
that was snooty, man.
I can't see part of the court. Like,
yeah, and you know who can't see part of the court most times they're on the road? Paul Keels and Ron Stokes. But damn it, they do their best when they're calling games.
You asked how excited I was. I'm just giving you an answer, especially because during COVID and during any of the Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament, you sit courtside, which would be nice, but you got to sell those seats.
Never done that before. That's like a bucket lister. Yeah. I've never sat courtside at any sort of basketball. Well, maybe like middle school basketball, high school basketball, but any like collegiate or pro level, never done it.
Next time the NCAA tournament's at Nationwide, just go over there. It's always good. They've got great food, and you sit courtside for that. Plus, you usually get some good games. I've just gone a couple times just to like watch some stuff. I'll go listen to some, was it Rick Barnes at Tennessee?
Yeah.
I went and listened to him talk for a little bit. So good. But back to this game, I think, like I said, it's a game that they've got to win. And
I digress.
UCLA comes in 2 wins in a row, Maryland at home and then at Penn State. So this is the back-to-back on their road trip. You hope maybe that's an advantage to you a little bit. You've had some time off. They've been playing. They've been traveling. This could also be a fun color game.
Yeah, Ohio State, UCLA, like anytime that they tussle, it's usually a pretty good uniform game.
Right, but there's talk about
color rush.
Well, just
scarlet and the blue.
Yes, and it depends on a couple things. Obviously, UCLA.
Are you breaking news?
I'm not. I just know that there's been discussions about trying to get that to work. There's some issues on both sides that had to be resolved, it sounded like. But
what are we talking about? Like issues on both sides?
What are the issues?
So UCLA wore their blue the other night against Penn State.
Oh, they're not clean.
So they have to wash them. So assuming they can
you know what the shot doesn't have? Just an industrial sized laundry facility. They don't have that. That's just not a thing.
The 2 games ago when I was leaving, I walked by and I'd never noticed it before. Like by the exit that we go out of is the washing machines. And I went over and looked at them, and they are big, and there's several of them. So that should be
As a former janitor of the shot, I could tell you that those aren't even the only washing machines that they have in the entire building.
There's also, I believe the Buckeyes are 0-3 in their traditional red uniforms, scarlet uniforms this year, and there's like an ongoing record going back to last year. So there's a little like,
ooh,
we were talking about this the other day.
Taboo.
But they do have some alternates that could possibly be worn.
Like the script Ohio script.
Yes,
Buckeyes?
but there was some issue with some of the stitching on one of those, or on some of them. And
they really don't want to wear the red. I mean, they do not want to wear the scarlet under any circumstance.
They want to wear the script ones. That's because they've done well in those. And this, this is all obviously mental stuff in your head, but that's part of the game, right? And so, look, I told Gary Pettit, the SID over there, if I get there and they come out on the court and it's not scarlet on that blue, I am walking out of the arena because I demand that they wear. I think it should happen in football. Like Ohio State and Michigan should wear their colors when they play each other. Yeah, but it doesn't. UCLA, though. UCLA and USC, they do that.
Yes, they do. Big congratulations to Sandy. She is going to be going to the Buckeye game tomorrow against UCLA. Skip Mossick's personal tickets that she won. By the way, Monday on our show, we will also be giving away 2 pairs of tickets to Ohio State versus Minnesota on Tuesday at the Shop. By the way, we should probably get to this news because Ohio State basketball did have some pretty big news, significant news that dropped today. Puff Johnson got reinstated or he's
eligible.
I don't even know the correct term of it, but a restraining order was lifted, giving him immediate qualification to play by NCAA standards. Now, if you don't know Puff Johnson, he did play for North Carolina. He played for Penn State for a couple of years. He committed to Ohio State. He's been with the team, but kind of what we've been talking about in college football, like Trinidad Chambliss, what is going on? An injunction has to be filed if you wanted to get an extra year of eligibility. His basically was denied. That was lifted today by a Franklin County judge. So he is immediately eligible to play for Ohio State. The problem is he hasn't been practicing because he's not an eligible player. I would be shocked. And by shocked, I mean there's absolutely no way that he is going to play tomorrow.
He's not. We've already looked into it.
Yeah. So I got this from Gary Pettit, actually. He said Ohio State head coach Jake Diebler announced that Puff Johnson will join the Ohio State men's basketball program this season. He was granted a temporary restraining order by a Franklin County Court of Common Pleas today that has been deemed immediately eligible. Coach Diebler said, we're excited for Puff to join our program. This has been a long process for him and his family. We're happy for them and are looking forward to getting him on the court. So he's not going to play tomorrow. I doubt he will play Tuesday against Minnesota. Something to watch out for, especially since this Ohio State team is dealing with some injury concerns. Christoph Tilley, I know earlier in the week, Jake Diebler said it's too early to tell if he will play. He was dealing with a concussion. Brandon Knoll out indefinitely with a foot injury. But that's big news, adding anyone to your roster at this point in time. Big news for the Buckeyes. So we'll keep an eye on the Puff Johnson situation.
Yeah, it should be interesting. At the very least, if he can get up to speed and everything.
Yeah.
Could give you something off the bench, which we've talked about. They could desperately use some of that. And while you're adding players midseason, like you should see if LeBron wants to come back to college.
Yeah,
you can just do that now.
You can. Former NBA players are joining college.
Right.
teams.
I did see that Trinidad Chambliss is basically using this. They're going to file the lawsuit. And I think this was kind of always the plan. But I saw people quote tweeting stuff about the Puff Johnson thing to help support Trinidad Chambliss's opportunity to come back for a 6th year. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, for sure. Ohio State, UCLA tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Our coverage begins at noon. Going to be here for the warm-up show. And Isaiah's producing, and it's a big deal. I hope are you ready for it?
Oh, I'm locked and loaded.
All right. I just hope that you don't make Skip so nervous.
He already seemed a little bit nervous. Usually we have double Jacobs in the studio, and so tomorrow it's single Jacob.
Single Jacob. You're going to do great. Or if you don't, then you're not going to do great, and it's fine. And I'll be here along for the ride, and everybody's going to have a fun time. But
it's going to be fantastic. You can't help me whatsoever, but you will be here.
I have no clue what goes on. As soon as we changed from the dad system to Zeta, I became useless. Here, you're going to do a great job. The college football transfer portal is absolutely out of control. We'll do that in the Pulse coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Start the year off moving, not hurting. With joint pain, if it's holding you back, listen up. There's a way to get relief without surgery, no downtime, and without putting your life on pause. Dr. Tesner and the other pros right here at QC Kinetics in Columbus, Ohio, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair areas that are causing you the pain. Those achy hips, knees, shoulders, back, wherever it hurts. And the results, 97% of Cleveland patients report satisfaction with the results. So instead of facing an invasive operation that sidelines challenge you for months. These treatments, they happen right in office and you go about your day. I should know. I've had them. My dad has had them. They feel good and they can deliver life-changing results. Imagine moving around better, being stronger, planning the year you actually want. Do not wait. January is supposed to be a clean slate, so make it yours. So go call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Introducing Optimized IT, the managed services division of Modern Office Methods. With our cutting-edge managed IT services, we bring proven management strategies to the table to support your current IT team. That's not all. Our experienced team provides insight on how to maximize efficiency, helping you achieve your goals faster. Concerned about security? Our backup solutions help guarantee your data is protected around the clock, giving you peace of mind. Start at OptimizedIT.net for your free IT assessment. Stay ahead, stay secure, and stay optimized.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And when you download the Kroger app, you can clip and save more with digital coupons every week. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you can enjoy more ways to save and more rewards every time you shop. So it's always easy to save big every day with savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb, coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good evening, I'm Isaiah Jacob. Right now, the Cleveland Cavaliers are getting ready to tip off against the Philadelphia 76ers. The Cavs will be without Darius Garland and Sam Merrill tonight. And then tomorrow, OSU Hoops are back in action. They will look to rebound against the UCLA Bruins at 1 p.m. Coverage begins on the Fan at noon. How about the Jackets heating up, now chasing 4 wins in a row? Tomorrow night, they face off against the Penguins at 7 p.m. And then some NFL injury news for the divisional round of the playoffs. Texans Pro Bowl wideout Nico Collins has been ruled out for Sunday's game against the New England Patriots due to a concussion. But good news for the Bills, as defensive tackle Ed Oliver and former Ohio State wide receiver Curtis Samuel will both be active this weekend for their game against Denver. This update was sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
If you still have a weird rash from jumping in Mirror Lake, we can be friends. This is the Buckeye Show.
Hour number 2 of the program for us on this Friday. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. You can always go back and listen to the podcast anywhere you get your podcast from, or you can do like so many other, watch the show on YouTube. Join in on the YouTube chat. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. Discourse going on. Let's go to the YouTube chat before we get into the college football pulse. Evan, when we were talking about returning starters, Ohio State's strategy in the transfer portal, he said, my thought, also don't be afraid to poll people. Give people a chance. Don't let loyalty or image keep you someone longer. I would like for position battles to be all around. Nobody is locked in. Got to earn it every year. Embrace it. Open up competition. I think they do that, to be fair. Now, I think there are also some players, and I'll just make up one for example. Jeremiah Smith is probably going to be locked in as a starter on this team for the 2026 season. But yeah, I think we saw a lot of competition last year, Pat, in spring ball and in fall camp. And I think especially with the roster turnover this year, guys coming in from the transfer portal, 31 players leaving Ohio State, getting into the portal, that there will certainly be a lot of competition in spring ball leading up into fall camp.
Yes, and there should be. There should be every year. But especially a year that ends in disappointing fashion, I think it just kind of is a catalyst for that kind of thing. Not to say that the Buckeyes didn't have competition this past offseason, the past fall camp, all that. They certainly did. But, you were the national champions. And as much as you say, and we talked about it preseason, like they're saying all the right things. We thought they were doing the right things. I think they did do the right things, frankly. They just came up short. And, there are reasons for that we've gone into. But, yeah, I think you've got to, as you head into next season and spring ball, summer workouts, fall camp, all that, you've got to have a lot of competition at most positions. We could probably go through and name, like, Julian saying he's going to be the quarterback. Spencer was talking about that. Yep. Jeremiah Smith, as you mentioned.
Pencil him in.
Yeah, I think most of the offensive line is probably set. Maybe you move some guys around if you want. Mm-hmm. But defensive line, like the guys coming back, probably going to be starters. But like
Kenyatta, probably going to be a starter.
Look, if Kenyatta, if say, what was it, Rousseau? Is he the defensive end from Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Say he comes in and is better. You need two, obviously, but I'm just using that as an example. Like, that's a spot. Bo Jackson. What if Bo Jackson is good, but not as good as...
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Carlos Lachlan is not afraid to put someone in there who has been better at practice or in training camp. He's not afraid of anything, that guy.
Yeah, and we think we have an idea of like what the secondary is going to look like with the safeties they brought in, the cornerbacks they've added, like that type of thing. But you got to go out there and compete. Mm-hmm. Like, I think Jermaine Matthews is probably a safe bet to start. But like Devin Sanchez, did you do enough this season as a true freshman to lock yourself in as a starter?
Probably have a head up on the competition.
Yes, definitely. But I don't think you can say, this guy is certainly going to be a starter. I think you've got to create that competition because I think it makes everybody better.
Let's do the college football pulse.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Isaiah, what do you got going on for us today, buddy? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. The first thing, 10,576 players have entered the transfer portal.
Say that number again.
10,576 players, but
that's how many cheeseburgers I've eaten
this year. Division 1, that's across all three divisions, right? So that's D1, D2, D3.
Yeah.
It's across the board. So if you were still waiting for those Division 3 players that are entering the portal, they're still out there. But there's 6,846 players that are still looking for their home. What do you guys think of that?
It's just it's a crazy number, and we know that obviously, Pat, that there have been a lot of players from Ohio State leave. It's not just an Ohio State problem. This is all across college football right now. It has been condensed down from the one window. 10,576 players. 6,846 players still remain inactive and looking for their next homes in the transfer portal. I don't know. I would like to see the percentage when it closes and teams finalize rosters. And I don't know exactly when that time is because you can be extracted out of the portal really at any point once you're in there. I would like to see the number of players who don't get picked up at all and have played their last college football game without even knowing that they've played their last college football game. Whether that was advice from a parent, whether that was advice from an agent, whether that was, I need to get out of here because it's not my kind of thing. I don't like it here. I want to go make money elsewhere. Or just straight up, you didn't like it at the university or didn't like coaching for a coach. Coach gets fired, whatever. College football is a zany sport. That's why we know it. That's why we love it. There will be a large percentage of these guys who will never play another down of college football. And whether it's for their reasons of the grass is greener or whatever it may be, that is a crazy number to comprehend. Almost 11,000 players. How many college football teams are there in Division I? 135, 136. And a lot of these teams aren't going to a 100-man roster anymore. But just the quick math, I mean, if they are going to a 100-man roster for 130 teams, you do the math. There's not that many roster spots available. And I know this is including Division II, Division III, but almost 6,900, 7,000 players still in the portal. That's a pretty mind-bending number. And I'm guessing that's going to go up with the deadline today. Hard to comprehend a number that is that large.
Yeah, I think we often talk about the Ohio State guys, and those guys are obviously in demand. We talk about big names that get in the portal. We don't talk about the guys you're talking about, Beam, that just don't get the opportunity they think they're going to. No. And there's even guys who...
And there's a lot of those, Pat.
Yeah, and there's guys who enter the portal thinking, like you said, grass is greener, and then they end up at a school they probably wouldn't have thought they would end up at when they entered the portal.
Like Incarnate Word.
Yeah, or even like, and this may not be the best example, but just because it just happened today, like Damarian Witten, the wide receiver from Ohio State, he's transferring to Miami of Ohio. And, this was a 4-star kid coming out of Cleveland Glenville. He probably had dreams of being a star with the Buckeyes.
Cradle of coaches, though, Miami.
It is, yes. Sean McVay. Not the coach, but he played there. But I think, a guy like that...
basketball team, Miami, right now.
Yeah. I think a guy like that, if he, did he dream of playing for the Red Hawks? Probably not. And not to say that that's not a good opportunity, because he could go there and have a really good career and maybe still make it to the NFL. But there are guys that, you have these dreams of like, oh, I'll leave Ohio State and I'll go play for LSU or whatever. And then that opportunity just doesn't come. So
Fahim Delane did that.
He did do that
today.
Yes,
he left Ohio State and he's going to go down to LSU. That was one. We were doing the show last night. We were like, boy, that's got to hurt Alabama for Russaw to come over here. That's one that hurts. That's one that stings with Fahim Delane going to LSU. Again, you wish everybody the best of luck. May the money come to you fruitful, and may you have the best experience that you can possibly have. But LSU picking him up, it's like, boy, that one stings a little bit. That one stings the nostrils.
I am willing to give the benefit of the doubt to Ohio State's secondary coaches, Tim Walton and Matt Guerrieri, on that assessment. At some point, there will be guys that bite Ohio State when they leave, right?
Of course.
And that may be one of them. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong.
Last time a player transferred to LSU, he had a pretty good path, a former Buckeye.
Well, there's been a couple since then. But,
have there?
Yeah.
Ooh. I can think of one off the top of my head. It feels like it really stung. I don't know.
Yeah. Jair Brown, I think, or the corner. Maybe it wasn't Jair Brown.
That wasn't the guy I was thinking of.
You were thinking Joe Burrow.
Oh, it's Joe Burrow. That's who it was.
Yeah, but also counterpoint to that, Dwayne Haskins, 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns in his one season at Ohio State.
Like, it wasn't Dwayne Haskins' fault the defense was really bad for Ohio State and they lost to Purdue.
Also, that year, LSU's defense was bad, and even in the national championship year for Joe Burrow, their defense was bad.
Yeah. Put Jamar Chase and not T. Higgins,
Justin
Jefferson.
Yep.
Yeah, with Dwayne that year and see how it goes.
Probably pretty good, I would imagine. So again, that number is kind of mind-bending. Isaiah, I believe we have time for one more.
Let's do Brian Hartline. He went down to USF, and he got a bag.
The way you phrase that.
I know, right? He got $3.5 million, apparently, at the University of South Florida, heading down south. What do you guys think of Brian Hartline getting paid some big bucks?
At some point, he had to jump, right? Like, he wanted aspirations to be a head coach. I think he was making almost $3 million as the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. At some point, you got to go. Like, if you want to be a head coach, you have to make the jump. South Florida is a great place for him to go. He knows that area. He has recruited that area extremely well when he was here at Ohio State. I mean, he played for the Dolphins. That's up there in Tampa. Like, he knows that area. He's going to have a fantastic job. I don't think it was about the money for Brian Hartline, but it does make him, I believe, tied for the second highest paid coach in the non-group of 4 teams for a head coach. He gets the bump in salary. I don't think Brian Hartline's worried about that. I think he's more looking for fit over cash, and that fits him extremely well. So there's a lot of people like freaking out about this today on social media saying, boy, $500,000 raise and you abandon Ohio State. He was always going to try to take another head coaching job and try to be successful in that. I'm not reading that as, boy, Ohio State lowballed him, didn't give him the bump to $3.5 million. It's just that he wanted to do that, and that was the right place for him to go.
Yeah, I agree. And he needs to see what life is like as a head coach, if that's where his career is going to go, if he's going to be an OC, a wide receivers coach, whatever. And this was the opportunity. This wasn't about the money, as you said.
Carp, he's going to join us. We continued to talk numbers in the transfer portal with him coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/freeforever to learn more.
You get up early on snow days because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to thrive in the winter. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $6,000. Now through December 31st, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Find your local Kubota dealer at BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone. Now through February 2nd, you can get $5,000 customer cash on remaining new 25 Tundras. Or get 0.99 APR financing on Tundra plus $1,000 TFS APR cash. With approved credit through TFS, excludes TRD Pro. APR cash must be applied to deal. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The best outcomes for treating cancer come from early detection and early diagnosis.
The James Cancer Diagnostic Center at Ohio State
is designed to provide rapid evaluation and a clear diagnosis.
We are transforming care by giving patients direct access
to cancer experts who study and treat cancer every day.
If you think you have cancer, the choice is clear.
Choose the James Cancer Diagnostic Center.
Common Man and Timmy.
Just looking at his face, I hate his face. I hate the chain that he wears. This is why we're friends, because I hate him too. I hate the way he spells his first name.
Common Man and Timmy, Afternoons on the Fan, is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Already prepping for next week's matchup? Get your best rest yet with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop Bob's and choose from pillows, soft, plush, dual feel, and extra firm mattresses with Bobopedic memory foam that will have you dreaming of game day in no time. So shop in store or online to score the latest and affordable luxury mattresses without the luxury price tag. Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. This is Paul Keels for RV Wholesalers. Peace of mind. That's what you get when purchasing your next RV from RV Wholesalers. With every new RV purchase, Ohio residents receive the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. If your RV is in the shop, RV Wholesalers will give you a free loaner. Also with a Buckeye Service Guarantee, you'll receive free delivery in the state of Ohio and 3-day RV exchange. That's the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. Only at RV Wholesalers in Lakeview, Mansfield, Delaware, and RVW.com. RV Wholesalers, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Fan weather
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. Scattered light snowfall this evening with temperatures in the 30s. Highest snowfall will be south and east of Columbus, so watch for slick spots on the roads. Scattered light snow continues Saturday. Temperatures in the mid-30s. Snow comes to an end Saturday night, then bitter cold air arrives. Highs only in the 20s by Sunday. Colder Monday. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Brian Day's favorite radio show. Probably. Maybe. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Buckeye Show, we now head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our guy. He is the General, Bobby Carpenter. Carp, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Happy Friday. What's going on, buddy? Good to talk to you.
Oh, it's great to talk to you, Beam. I mean, hey, you know what the good news is? What was that sound? What was that? That was a door slam. The portal is shutting today.
Yes, it is.
So, you know what? I think there's still time. If you want to get in, Beam, I was talking to somebody, there's, I think, an alumni portal. If you want to change your schools, like, of affiliation, you can do that too, maybe. I don't know. But the portal is closing. So if you're not in, you can't get in, but you can still slurp some guys out of there.
Yeah, you can extract them right out of the portal, right? I think you posted this on Instagram, and we just talked about it in the College Football Pulse. 10,576 players entered the transfer portal as of right now, and that may, continue to be growing as we get close to that deadline coming to a close. There's still almost 7,000 players, Bob, looking for an extraction point to get out of the portal. There's not that many roster spots in Division I football. A lot of these guys have already played their last downs of competitive Division I football and don't even know it.
Which is crazy. It's amazing you said that. They played their last game and didn't even know it, which is absolutely nuts. And that's what it is, though. I mean, there's like 6,800, like you said, guys, and there's probably half of those roster spots. And there was a time when, hey, you get in the portal, and some coaches would be like, hey, we'll hold a spot for you or whatever. And now it's like, you got to fill your roster. And then also it's like, well, we're offered you X dollars. And then you come back, like, well, yeah, is it still on the table? Not anymore, because we had to get a player to fill your position, or we had to allocate this. This is what we could offer you now if you want to even come back. So it's crazy to think with everything that's going on, just the expectations of these players I think some of them have been kind of sold a little bit of fool's gold.
Yeah, grass is always greener, pal.
Yeah, dude, it's Shangri-La. The next place, they're going to offer you 10 times the money, better playing opportunities, all these things. And this isn't just an Ohio State thing. It's in general that I feel bad because some of these guys have been sold a bill of goods. And unfortunately now, Beam, they may never be able to graduate college, and that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation, isn't it? I know that you and I had talked about that. That's the first time I've ever seen that number, though. I mean, because I feel like all of college football has collectively lost their mind, this transfer portal. And again, it's bigger and badder than it ever was because you only have the one this year compared to when they were split in the past. Yeah, nearly 11,000 players in the portal, and still 7,000 of them looking for a home. It is it's pretty mind-bending when you think about it. When we talked to you last week, we had Justin Zwick on the show on Wednesday, and he was a little bit nervous last week, Bob. The sky was starting to fall on him. He was maybe feeling a little bit bad for himself. Fast forward to this week. Yes, Ohio State does seem to have a plan in the transfer portal that they are working on and doing a very good job at. How should Ohio State fans feel this week with the guys that they have extracted mostly from Alabama and brought to their roster this year?
So I was doing XM earlier today, and Matt Schick told me he was looking, I don't know what, my co-host on there, I don't know what he looked at or what site he went to, but he said Ohio State was number one in age shift, age shift, net age shift, if you will.
Getting older.
They added 1.4 years of age to their roster, and that was something that we've talked about. And you look at Indiana and you look at this new model of college football, you had some guys that were freshmen and sophomores that left. You replaced those guys with some junior, third year or fourth year, even fifth year players that are coming in, and guys, that are from Bama. You get 3 guys from there on the defensive side of the ball. You get a receiver from LSU that's coming in. You get a running back from Florida that's going to be coming in. You get a kicker out of Baylor that's coming in.
Florida State safety.
I mean, there's a number of guys, and so you look, Malik Hartford left. He's a third-year player. You're bringing a fourth-year guy. So I think that was part of the calculus. They're still going to add to it, and there's still, as you said, there's still 6,800 people in there. So it's not quite like we're at the bargain bin at the end of the aisle that you're trying to pick mismatched stuff in there.
Yeah, the $2 DVDs. We're not there yet.
The $2 DVDs, the shirts that may be missized, and there might be a cigarette burn from someone returning it that they didn't see. But there's still opportunities to add. But I think everybody was so upset at the beginning, and I get it, because you got some guys who were big-time recruits that came in that left, and that stinks. And they probably, here's the thing, you probably someone would have played this year, but you go in there, you get some veteran guys, and then it's going to be up to the guys that are currently on this team. The 15 of them that came back, just a joke, and there's a lot more than that. But I joked with Peyton Pierce when we're going to have the meet and greet with the team, where we have the mixer.
Hi, my name is Peyton. Did you say Peyton or Peyton?
Peyton Pierce. But you put your name tag on, you shake the hands, you meet the guys. And that's part of it, but you're going to have to develop that culture quickly. I think they brought in, hopefully, guys from big programs that had good cultures that seem like they're on the right path, that have an alignment with you. Allegro from Wisconsin, he's a good-looking kid, man. He's 6'4", like he's tall. Like, and people see the heights, and you're like, is it really that tall? But he's a good inch and a half taller than me, broad dude, moves well, and he's got Michael J. Fox's haircut from Back to the Future,
Sweet.
so I feel really good about that. He looks like he belongs in Stranger Things with the hair, so it's sweet, but they've done a really good job. So hopefully people now have like subsided on just the craziness that I've heard out here where like Ohio State, they're not doing it right. They won't spend the money. I heard a narrative where like Mark Pantoni and Ross Bjork are hoarding the money. I'm like, for who? Like, this isn't Mike Brown.
Smaug?
Like with the Bengals, like they don't get to keep
hoarding your gold. Like,
that's what I said. Like, this isn't like a pro sport where they get to keep what they don't spend. Like, they're trying to get as much out, but you have to have limits to where when people come in and they say crazy things like, all right, well, this is the value we associated with you and your position and how good you are. And there's a little negotiation around it, but like, hey, we're offering you, $1 million, and you say, well, I'm worth $1.5 million. Like, well, probably not. This guy over here is about as good as you, and we'll start talking to him. Or some people, it's like, hey, I want $2.5 million. Like, $2.5 million. Like, dude, for what?
That's a lot of cash.
It's a ton of cash, and so they just throw these numbers out, and it's wild. It is truly the wild, wild west. I had a GM at another school call me, and he's like, text me. He's like, can I just call you? And he just vented about just how crazy it is and how brash some of the parents are and everything. And like largely the kids are good kids and they want to work and everything, but they get bad advice sometimes from the agents because there's no regulation with any of it. It is the straight wild, wild west.
Got Carp with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Buddy, before we get you out of here, your thoughts on your former teammate, now current Buckeyes linebackers coach, James Laurinaitis, going into the College Football Hall of Fame that was announced earlier this week.
I'm super pumped for James. Excited for him. It's well-deserving. He is the fourth linebacker now to join the likes of Randy Gradishar, Chris Spielman, Tom Cousineau, and now James Laurinaitis. I think there's 29 Buckeyes overall in the College Football Hall of Fame. Well-deserving. I tried to hype him up. He wasn't having anything to do with it the other day when I saw him.
Classic James.
Oh yeah, and I said, dude, just go get some portal cash to go give your guys, and you'll be good. But he's working hard and doing a great job, and it can't hurt at all when you have the guy with that much notoriety and him getting some of the recognition I think he finally deserves.
Hey, higher faith this weekend. Your boy Matt Stafford in the cold in Chicago on Sunday night, or Indiana finishing the job Monday in the Natty against Miami in their own backyard?
Ooh, I would say I have some confidence in Matty Stafford. I will tell you this. The guy played in Detroit, which I know is in a dome, but he's not unfamiliar with the temperatures in Green Bay and in Chicago. So
strong arm, lively arm.
He's the one guy that can throw it through the wind without a doubt. I have no question in my mind about that. He has got a whip for sure. But the Hoosiers down there, I know you generally don't want to be on the side of the public money, and there is all the bets coming on Indiana. About 85% of the money's on them, but they don't make mistakes, man. They do not. You have to beat them. And looking at it now, everyone complained at Ohio State. I'm like, dude, you're a 30-yard field goal away from tying that game, and people said you didn't play very well. Yeah. So, that's going to probably be your eventual national champ, and you always wonder, what might have been and what could have happened.
Of course.
And all of that. But Indiana, with Mendoza, unless they just melt down, I think they've got this thing.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. Enjoy Lord of the Rings tonight, all right? And we will check in again next week, all right?
Absolutely, Beam. The journey through Middle-earth will be long and treacherous, but I think we're up for it.
There he goes. Carp with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join the program. We'll break down everything going on with the Buckeyes with him coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend this show. The other dentist is a Michigan fan. Yuck! You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Right now, we're going to head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, checking with our great friend, Buckeye Huddle. He is Tony Gerdeman. Gerd, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Been asking Pat, everyone that we've had on this week that covers Ohio State, how excited are you for midnight tonight when the transfer portal is officially going to close and there's going to be no more entries from a Buckeye perspective?
It will be nice to close that chapter and just not have to keep checking your phone, refreshing Twitter, all of these different things, waiting for something or seeing something, or you're doing something and then you're kind of like trapped in your car as things are going on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's 2 weeks goes pretty fast, but it's a whirlwind, but man, it is, I'm glad that it is almost over. And you trying to already aren't you glad it's over? Type of
I didn't.
stuff.
No. I didn't say that. To be fair, I said, how much are you looking forward to it being over? And with that being said, are you expecting any more Buckeyes to go into the portal tonight, Gerd?
Are there any left? No.
Yes, there are a couple.
Yeah. I put a list together before this whole thing about, how many players I expected to go or whatever. And I think I had a list of 25, and I hadn't factored in the new guys that leave in terms of like the Fahim Delane and Quincy Porter, where they're looking for something more substantial and as they're heading towards a possible starting deal. But if somebody else pops, I don't think it'll be a giant loss type of thing. It'll be somebody looking for a new home because they're not going to play at Ohio State. But that's pretty much what I would say to that.
Of the additions the Buckeyes have made, I asked Spencer this earlier, who is your favorite or maybe best fit, however you want to interpret that?
I'm looking forward to watching Terry Moore at safety. Didn't get to see him this past year because of injury, but was a playmaker at Duke. Can do a lot of things, fits in well. I think can play some free safety, can play some strong safety, do whatever you need. As you got Ohio State safeties will flip back and forth. And he had 4 or 5 interceptions as a junior in 24. He's got range. He's smart, good size. I think that's a guy that will help the back end a lot. And I think that's a guy that people will notice. And I don't know how much they will notice, like John Walker or James Smith up front on the interior, even though those guys might be the most important additions. I don't know how much people are going to be watching the defensive tackles, but they'll watch where the ball goes, and I think they'll see Terry Moore there a lot.
Yeah, to that point, Gerd, Terry Moore, terrific player, missed last year, I believe, his ACL tear in the ACC championship game with Duke, missed the entire year last season. But let me ask you a question, because you went to all the Ohio State games this year, last year, for the last handful of years that you've been covering the team. How much did you actually notice Caleb Downs on the field when he's eliminating about half of the field in coverage? Because the last time that we saw Terry Moore play football, he was actually graded higher than Caleb Downs at a safety position, which take the PFF grades out if you want. Mm-hmm. I don't care. You can use them for pros or cons, whatever you want to do. But that is a fact that he was actually graded higher than Caleb the last time we saw him play football.
Well, I think this is an interesting point with Caleb Downs. And frankly, how often did you notice either of Ohio State's safeties, Caleb Downs or Jalen McClain? Yeah. And it's Jalen McClain is that last line of defense, and the plays rarely got to him, even though he finished with 53 tackles. Caleb Downs, 68 tackles. But that's a far cry from, I think, what the 107 that he had as a true freshman at Alabama, when he had 30 more tackles than anybody else, and it's similar to what he had, last year at Ohio State as well, where he only had, just scrolling real quick, 82 tackles in their 16 games. Offenses kind of avoid him, and so he has to make plays where he can, and you got a lot of playmakers on this defense, so he's not going to have to make them all like he did at Alabama. And it is interesting because there are times where we don't necessarily notice him, but the offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, quarterback, they all notice him. And it's one of those things where he's everywhere and nowhere. I don't know if that's the right analogy, but you're right, because you can watch an entire game and you might see him 4 or 5 times, but that's not what the quarterback sees.
All right, I asked you for your favorite addition. What about guy that is returning that maybe, like an NFL draft guy or a guy that you thought might enter the transfer portal?
Jeremiah Smith.
Okay, let's take Jeremiah out of it. But who do you think makes the biggest impact coming back that might have left?
Well, I think this is an opportunity for Kenyatta Jackson to become a first-round guy and really establish himself as one of the top defensive ends, rushing the passer, stopping the run in the nation. He's got, all of the measurables that Caden Curry doesn't. And, Caden Curry had a fantastic year this past year, but Kenyatta Jackson looks like how NFL defensive ends are supposed to look. And we know that he can get after the quarterback, and he's a very smart player. He's very sound. So I think getting him back is huge, because a lot of it is, him and Jermaine Matthews, and what happens if they don't get those guys back? Just the fact that they are back is huge, because imagine life in the Ohio State defense if one of those two guys isn't back. What are they doing?
He is Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Gerd, what are your expectations for a guy like Zion Grady, right? I know that Ohio State brought in Quay Russaw from Alabama. We're expecting him to maybe play the defensive end position to compete for a starting spot there. You obviously brought in another player from Alabama as well. Like a guy like Zion Grady, who the Ohio State retained, right? I'm sure it wasn't free to do that. Mm-hmm. You still had to pay him. They're expecting him to be an impact player. But guys who they have retained kind of on their roster who we didn't get to see a lot this year. A guy like Zion Grady, what are you anticipating kind of his spring, fall camp looking like? Because I think Ohio State's gone through kind of a transformational shift now. If you can't compete and you can't be productive on this roster, then we're not going to keep you. But obviously they liked what Zion Grady is providing.
Yeah, he was the only other defensive end besides Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry to play in the Buckeyes last game, and he was playing more down the stretch than Bo Atkinson. So I can see I can see him starting next year in 2026 and being that defensive end opposite Kenyatta Jackson, because you saw him. He played the 4th most snaps among those guys this year. Bo Atkinson also presumably returning, but you saw Zion Grady down the stretch playing just as much or a little bit more than he did, and you kind of see that his trajectory is continuing to rise. And when we got to see him, he had similar numbers to Chaz Coleman, And Chaz Coleman, funnily enough, oddly enough, was like the number 1 ranked defensive lineman in the portal based completely on projection and a couple of highlights. And, Zion Grady's just sitting here at Ohio State, ready for his sophomore year. So I think he's got a really good shot to start. I'm interested to see what kind of rotation and just usage that Matt Patricia has with that defensive line and basically the front 6, 7 together.
Are you saying on air, are you breaking news that Matt Patricia is confirmed returning to Ohio State, Gerd?
See, now again, here, what you're trying to do. Now,
we did it to Spencer too, don't we?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't care if you do it to Spencer. Just don't do it to me. No, I do expect him back. At this point, with the guys that they're bringing in, that seems to insinuate that, not that they wouldn't have to have a defensive coordinator, they wouldn't have to have a defense. I do expect him to be back. And, every time we saw him, and Pat will tell you, every time we saw him this year, he had a smile on his face, and he was having the time of his life out there, it seemed.
Well, except maybe after the losses. But other than that, looking outside.
Way to bring it down, Pat.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Like, I'm trying to keep it happy on a Friday, and Pat's here like, well, what about the losses, guys?
Yeah. Well, I haven't had my beers yet, so
true.
I'm starting to itch a little bit. Outside of Ohio State, we got the national championship game on Monday. Probably not the matchup you predicted preseason, though maybe you did, Gerd Stradamus. How do you see this one playing out between Indiana and Miami?
I think Indiana is a very good short yardage defense, and Miami is a very good short yardage offense. With this, Miami puts themselves in like 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 4, and that's about the length of their wide receiver routes, and they do very good job of converting those, and that's about the extent of Carson Beck's throwing range, and he does that very well, and he did that against Ohio State, and they picked up so many of those. But gosh, isn't it difficult to pick against Indiana? Like, I still am having a hard time believing. But I've watched them, and the way they've just destroyed everybody in the playoffs. And yet you see the line. It's like, I don't know, 8.5 or 9.5, and you're like, boy, that seems like a lot, doesn't it? And it's like, well, I mean, they've beaten everybody by 100 points. Why shouldn't this line be 40 or something like that? So I guess I will take Indiana, but I don't know that I expect it, just because Indiana national champions is something that
in football.
16-0 national champions, like best season ever. Gerd.
Yeah, this is not men's soccer, Indiana. This is football, and I won't mind saying it if it happens, but it just seems odd to say it before it happens.
Gerd, before we get you out of here, more confidence in Indiana winning the Natty on Saturday, or Patrick's Rams beating the Bears in Chicago? I just asked Carp this question right before we had you on.
Well, I know Patrick's probably not that confident right now.
No, that would be.
I will ride that wave of negativity all day long and go ahead and have confidence in the Hoosiers over the Rams. But again, you're putting another thing on me. Like, don't call again. Stop calling. Stop calling.
We're trying to use Jedi mind tricks here. I was hoping that you would be fully more confident in the Rams on Sunday, as I am way more confident in them that Indiana wins a national championship. But I'm confident in both, Gerd.
Yeah, look, I'm never going to be shocked at a Bears failure in the playoffs. So if that's what you're looking for.
The future Indiana Bears, that is.
Yeah, the Gary Bears. Yeah, that's right. Gerd, always appreciate the time. Sorry that you had to talk to us this evening. Have a lovely rest of your Friday, and we will maybe or maybe not check in again soon, depending if you answer our call, all right?
I'll try.
There he goes. Tony Gerdeman, a Buckeye Huddle, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. It's never too early to be looking ahead to the draft. We're going to be doing that next, and hashtag Buckeyes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon, even if this promo is playing in the morning. No judgment.
Sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-718-4040. That's 800-718-4040. 800-718-4040.
They say glory is earned, not given. We say it's ignited by heart and ends with a boom. Get your tickets today at bluejackets.com.
What can ADP do for small business? We help answer the business questions, like how do you track employee time? How do you do payroll taxes? Or what does compliance even mean? So small businesses can focus on bigger questions. Now florists can ask, can we invent another holiday to sell bouquets? Pizza shops can ask, how do we stuff a calzone into a pizza crust? And pool cleaners can ask, what is that thing in the filter? These are the questions you can focus on when ADP takes care of the business of your small business. ADP for small business.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts. And for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Hey, Ohio State fans, next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
It's a playoff Sunday doubleheader on the Fan. The Texans and Patriots kick things off at 2:30 with the Rams and Bears in the nightcap.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
It's time for your daily dose of vitamin B. B stands for Buckeyes, just in case that wasn't clear. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Final segment for us here on this Friday. Hopefully everybody's having a great start to their weekend. You know, I never realized how old we are, Pat, until we start talking to our producers. Reimer, you, Isaiah, back there. Today, I found myself watching Man on Fire, which is a great Denzel Washington movie.
Which is not what, if you just heard the title, probably not exactly what it is.
Yes, I wasn't just watching a Man on Fire.
Denzel was not burning.
I was watching the movie Man on Fire. And it was on AMC or something a little bit earlier today, TMC, I don't whatever the channel is. And I flicked it on because I'm like, hey, I probably haven't watched this movie since 2010. It's probably been 15 years since I watched this. And you get through the first half of the movie. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's kind of how I remember it. And then the second half of the movie, this is like prime vintage Denzel, vengeance, chaos agent, badass. And the last hour of the movie, and you haven't seen it either.
No, but I know what it is.
And I'm just sitting there with like my jaw on the floor. I'm like, I got to go pick up William from daycare here in like 20 minutes. There's 30 minutes left in the movie. I'm like, I got to finish this because if I don't, then I'm going to be really mad at myself and I'm not going to come back tonight after the show and watch it. But boy, if I have a movie recommendation, if you're looking for something to watch, either a new movie or an old movie, go back and watch Man on Fire. Boy, is that a terrific film.
You could just insert any Denzel Washington movie probably in there, and you're probably accurate.
What's your favorite Denzel movie? You got one?
Probably Remember the Titans.
Yeah, it's a very good one.
Did you see John Q?
I have seen John Q. John Q, I would argue, is one of Denzel's Mount Rushmore films. That is a very, very good one. If you've never seen that, I would highly recommend that you watch that as well.
I saw that.
Isaiah, have you heard of these? Have you heard of John Q?
I've heard of John Q, yes.
Have you watched Remember the Titans?
I've watched Remember the Titans, yes. I have seen it.
Okay, good.
I'm more of an Equalizer guy, though.
Equalizer, very good.
I love those movies.
Is there a second and a third one?
I think there's three of them, yeah.
Yeah, I think I watched the second one. I don't think I've watched the third one. But the first one, when they do like the stop motion, and he's in that office with the Russians, I believe, and he sets his stopwatch and knows what's going on. I'm like, that was one of the most grisly scenes in movie history.
I'm just scrolling through Denzel's IMDb page. American Gangster.
Yeah, that's a Mount Rushmore for me.
Deja Vu. That one, probably not Mount Rushmore level, but it was good.
Yeah.
John Q I saw on a second date in middle school.
Nice.
Because I was doing movie dates in middle school.
That's an intense movie to watch in middle school.
It was.
On a date.
Yeah.
Well, I showed up to the date. Again, there's two middle school. I went to Upper Arlington. There's two middle schools. The girl was at the other middle school.
The Jones and Hastings?
Correct.
Look at me.
And, well, your wife is a teacher, so.
Yeah, that's true. Well, what does that have anything to do with anything? She teaches in Grandview. She doesn't teach
right
in UA.
next to Upper Arlington.
Yeah, we lived in
It's
UA.
Lower Arlington.
Yeah.
But that was a shot.
Yeah, people from Grandview right now are going to come and tackle you.
I live in Grandview. I love Grandview. But I show up to the movie with my buddy. Like, I thought it was just going to be a few of us going to see this. Her entire friend group was there.
Oh man,
guys, girls, everybody. But good movie.
Talk about a great time. Going to the movies with a big group of friends.
So
back in middle school, high school, what was better than that?
I just went recently and saw we saw the new Avatar movie, and I was talking with Sarah.
The Way of Fire.
Yes. No, the Way of Water.
Okay.
The Way of Water was the last one. But
this was a fire movie.
This was at the Lenox over here, and I was talking to Sarah, my fiance, about just like how that used to be the place we would get dropped off there on a Friday night. All of our friends would be there. We'd go see a movie. We'd walk over to Target and walk around and not buy anything.
Create chaos.
Yeah. It was like, and now it was because there were actually people in there. Like usually when you go see a movie at Lenox, at least there's hardly anyone there. So it was good to see like people out seeing movies. Cause that was like a big part of my childhood.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like Mount Rushmore of Denzel movies. Training Day's got to be in there.
Yeah, Training Day for sure.
American Gangster is in there for sure. I think honestly,
Philadelphia
with the recent rewatch of Man on Fire, I think Man on Fire,
Malcolm X,
yeah, good one. Crimson Tide, very good. Like that was a late '90s movie where he's a submarine captain. That one's pretty good. Yeah, I think you could just go on and on and on.
Flight, you ever seen that one?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one too.
You only found 2 bottles. Well, that's funny because I drank 3. Where did the other one go?
Actually.
Yeah, no, that's a very good one. Yeah, I mean, you could just whatever Mount Rushmore you want to come up with Denzel. Like everyone's going to have their different Mount Rushmore. I'm eliminating Remember the Titans. That's a different Denzel movie than the rest of the Denzel.
Yeah, very different. He's not killing anybody in that movie, just breaking hearts.
Yes, he is. Before we get out of here tonight, I want to let you know, I was reading this a little bit earlier today from Matt Miller, who does a bunch of draft stuff for ESPN. He named 45 players that NFL scouts will have their eyes on next season. All right, so this is not the guys going into the NFL draft this year. This is for next year's NFL draft guys. One, Jeremiah Smith is on here. Here's what Matt Miller had to say about Jeremiah Smith. We know that he's going to be very good. Smith will be in the mix to be the top player in the 27 class. He's a Julio Jones-like prospect, 6'3", 223, has the production to match, 27 touchdown receptions in 2 seasons, back-to-back years with more than 1,200 receiving yards. His size, ability to play the ball in the air, and speed in the open field are elite. His hands stand apart from a talented receiver class as an immediate difference maker. He will be tempting at the top of the draft for teams that already have a quarterback. All right, I think we know that Jeremiah is going to be one of the most elite prospects to ever come out of college football who's a non-quarterback. How about this? The other player that he mentioned, Pat, would you like to take a stab at who Matt Miller mentioned, again, of ESPN? 45 players who are draft eligible next year. The only other one Buckeye that he mentioned is who? Do you want to take a stab?
This is bad radio with me just thinking.
No, it's not.
Jermaine Matthews.
It is not Jermaine Matthews because these are underclassmen. They're draft eligible.
Well, I mean, he and Jeremiah are both. They'd be the same. They're the same year.
I thought Jermaine was going into his last year.
He is, but so is Jeremiah.
Well, I know that. Isn't Jermaine going into his 4th year?
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
The underclass going into their 3rd year.
You think you wouldn't have to explain this to somebody who spent the last month looking at Ohio State's roster. Okay. Isaiah, you have a guess while I think?
Well, the only other person that I think of when I think of someone going into the 3rd year is Julian.
Okay.
He's available.
Yeah. Julian saying not on the 45 guys to watch.
I'd watch him. I will watch him.
I will too.
I'll be watching him pretty closely.
I'll watch him every game. And you know what? Here on the show next fall, we're going to be critiquing everything that he does.
He's on my watch list for sure.
Peyton Pierce.
Okay.
Peyton Pierce is the only other Buckeye on this list for Matt Miller. Here's what he writes. Could Pierce be the next Buckeyes linebacker who goes from a rotational player to high-end round 1 pick? Scouts have raved about his potential and natural feel at box linebacker with quick eyes and a good frame to stack up against interior blockers. Pierce is also on this list based on potential and how well Ohio State develops players. And scouts that I've talked to think that the sky is the limit for him. That's awesome. That's a rave review about one of the guys coming back in that Ohio State linebacker room. I know we're looking forward to seeing Wisconsin transfer Christian Allegro play in this room as well. And what's going to happen with Quay Russaw if he plays kind of in that hybrid position. And I know that they've got a couple of younger linebackers in that room. That's as good of an endorsement as you're going to hear about a guy who kind of filled in for the role of starting linebacker this year. We know that James was very adamant that he believes that he has 3 starting linebackers. Peyton Pierce getting some love from the NFL.
Yeah, and rightfully so, I guess, if you're kind of projecting ahead with that group. I do think he, like Cody Simon, obviously Cody Simon was going into his 5th year.
Yeah.
When he kind of broke out in 2024. But Arvell Reese this past year, I think it's exactly right that this could be what Peyton Pierce does. I think you saw it in flashes, just like you did with Arvell Reese the year before, and the kid could be a stud. I mean, again, when James is praising you like that, you got something promising going on.
Pat, had a great time with you this week. Best of luck to your Rams on Sunday night, all right?
Yeah, you too.
Everybody have an awesome weekend. Something else is up next on The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.